Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name's Alyssa, or Liz for some of those who know and love me. And this channel is basically about navigating life with anxiety, trying to deal with it and hopefully be set free from it one day. The videos explaining the channel and sort of my life's backstory are all on my page. So if you want to go and check out the rest of those videos, feel free to do that. But today I'm talking about preparing for conception, preparing to try and have a baby when you struggle with anxiety specifically. So my husband and I, we decided that we were ready in terms of sort of financially and emotionally, roughly November last year, 2024. There were a few things that we'd thought about. So, we've been married for 3.5 years. Our finances are in a good place. We've done some traveling. We've experienced life together. We feel like our marriage is solid and like we're ready to introduce another little body into our family. So from that perspective, we were all ready. From health perspective, my husband, he's always just chilled and easy, healthy, praise the Lord. For me, there were two main aspects to consider. So I've generally eat well and I was exercising and I was sleeping well, but there were two things. So the main was my mental health, and then also just a little issue of contraception. So I had a copper coil, so that had to be taken out, and thankfully that made trying to conceive quite easy because of the copper. It doesn't contain any hormones, so it doesn't change your cycle, doesn't affect your fertility. So once that was out, my periods went back to pretty much normal. They had been very heavy because of the coil. And so within 2 months, my periods were back to a normal cycle, predictable, regular. So that made trying to conceive a lot easier. The second one wasn't so easy. So mental health side of things, I had to think about the medication that I was on and is it suitable for pregnancy or not. At that stage, I was taking two. So I was taking fluoxetine, which is an SSRI, or selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. So that's like for general anxiety and depression, as well as for the panic attacks that I sometimes get. And then I was also taking trazodone hydrochloride, which is a medication that helps me to have a deep sleep, good quality sleep, which really then improves my overall anxiety. The trazodone is not generally prescribed in the UK because they say it has addictive properties. But thankfully, I was already on it before I came here. And when I came here, I said, please don't take me off it. Like, it's been a game changer for my mental health. So they've kept me on it, thankfully. So those were the two. SSRIs are generally prescribed for women struggling with mental health in pregnancy because they have been sort of more tested and associated with lower risks, but there are still some risks, and you have to make an informed decision. The trazodone, I had done some research before we were thinking about trying, and it hasn't really been tested on anyone, on pregnant women, so they don't advise it in pregnancy, especially not in the first trimester when you are busy, when your baby's organs and everything are busy forming. So that was a hurdle that I needed to sort of address. So before we go any further, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. I'm not a licensed healthcare professional. So please don't do as I have done, or I can't give you any advice. This is just personally what I did, and sort of a route that you could take along with your GP and healthcare provider if you're trying to conceive. So basically, I was under the care of an NHS psychiatrist, but I only have appointments with him every 3 months or something. So I already started, this is naughty, but I already started to decrease my dose of trazodone very carefully, very slowly. So by the time that I had a call with him, I explained to him, we want to have a baby. I want to start preparing, like medication-wise, so that I don't have to make changes all of a sudden. He was like, no, you can just change when you get pregnant. And I said, no, I don't feel comfortable with that, because I know personally in the past, when I've had to change medication, I go through an adjustment period where my mental health really dips. I get very depressed, very anxious. And I didn't want to have to be dealing with that when I'm dealing with pregnancy and first trimester as well. So I said to him, no, I'd like to decrease the trazodone. So we started that. Well, I continued. He thought I started. So I was on half the dosage for a while, and like a month or two, and then I halved it again, so a quarter, and eventually on to nothing. I did notice my sleep slowly but steadily declining, like my sleep quality. I would wake up really easily. I would feel very tired the next day, and my anxiety did get worse. So yeah, that wasn't ideal, but it was like, I'm doing this for my baby and I'm doing this for us. So I was fine. The NHS did also refer me to perinatal psychiatry, perinatal mental health team for preconception counseling. So you can ask for this if you have mental health issues and you're wanting to have a baby. They basically had a full hour with me explaining the pros and cons of certain meds and the risks associated and sort of risk versus benefit. Basically just equipped me with all of the information so that I could make a decision. And basically what came from that was I would stay off the trazodone, although she said, like, you didn't really have to come off it, but I was like, So I was off the trazodone. I was like, no, I want to stay off it. So we increased the fluoxetine, we doubled the dose to try and compensate. So that was mid-December or beginning of December that I had that consult. I was going to wait for the meds to stabilize, but we were going on holiday to South Africa to go visit family at the end of December, beginning of Jan. And I thought, oh my word, it would be so cool if I can get pregnant straight away, then we can tell all of our family together. So we decided, yeah, we'll start trying in December. So that month we started trying, and yeah, praise the Lord, got pregnant straight away. I tested on the 3rd of Jan. Yeah, I started on the 3rd of Jan, I tested positive, and we were able to tell all of our family together, which was so special. In terms of following on from that, things were a little bit more tricky with mental health. When we were in South Africa, I was able to generally feel all right. I think when I found out I was pregnant, I did get more anxious because, well, first of all, your hormones are all changing. And second of all, like, it's a huge change in your life that you're like, oh, flip, now it's actually happening. But yeah, generally I was able to enjoy like going out for meals and going to the sea, spending time with friends and family. The worst part was I couldn't enjoy the wine that I'd been looking forward to. And the steak that I'd literally been dreaming about for months no longer appealed to me. So those were the worst parts of that. Yeah, pregnancy, the beginning, the first trimester wasn't easy, but I'll make another video explaining about dealing with anxiety during pregnancy. But yeah, that is basically it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing else to say. If you are wanting to have a baby and wondering, how to navigate it with your mental health, hopefully this video has given you a few tips and sort of a path to follow. But yeah, all the best and take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.